Thanks for staying with us. We're all familiar with the phrase, "it's a man's world," and sadly, it still holds true. Today, even as women continue to smash glass ceilings and achieve great things, patriarchy is defined as a social system in which men hold primary power and predominate in roles of political leadership, moral authority, social privilege, and control of property. When culture is based on this dominator model, not only will it be violent, but it will frame all relationships as power struggles, and the struggle is real. In conversations about patriarchy, you will often see the usual groups and narratives loudly supported, from the men taking the stance of it is simply male bashing, to the women who speak of oppression. Perspective is everything, and each side can argue their case somewhat convincingly. Truth is, patriarchy affects everyone, and most especially relationships. How, you may wonder? Well, let's look at the man who struggles to deal with his emotions and can only express himself via anger, violence, or silence, and struggles to deal with having a female boss or a more successful wife. Let's look at the woman who cannot find her voice and has been raised with certain constructs of what her life should be, regardless of her hopes and dreams, who constantly worries about the consequences of her every action in a world where a man seemingly has no cares about his. The list is endless, so tonight we're breaking it down and hopefully we can learn a thing or two. Please let's hear what you have to say. Remember, you can join the conversation. Send us an SMS or WhatsApp message to 0818-038-4663. So important. Where do we start? Let me ask an important question, and maybe I'll start with Noma.
Again.
Do you think... yeah, I like it. Very viable.
Because of the blue thing.
You know it's going.
Do you agree, rather, that patriarchy affects relationships? And if you do, has it affected your relationship? I wouldn't say your, because it could be a different kind of relationship. And how have you dealt with it?
Patriarchy affects relationships because basically who we are, we're a product of the environment that raises us, the background, the emotional experiences that we go through in life. These three things are very key to who we experience on a daily basis, be it man or woman. So when you have people who have been programmed to think that the man is superior to the woman, you know, even when they don't want to think that way, even when they don't agree, but because this is something that they've heard time and time again, that is what forms their worldview. That is how they see themselves. So you see people growing up to be dominant, aggressive. You see some others grow up to be submissive, very timid. They can't even express themselves. But given different circumstances, they can actually, you see them in another light, you're like, is it the same person? So it's just the information that we've been handed over from generation to generation. Culture has, I've met people who think that, but fortunately for me, I learned, I had a military father, and my father with him, it was obey the last order. Mm-hmm. So we learned to be independent because he made you to do things. He made you to think. He made you to show up irrespective of the situations or the circumstance that you find yourself. There's always a way. You have to fix it. So I have siblings, 7 of them who are strong, very independent, resilient women and men, right? But meeting people now who have come from the worldview where the woman is supposed to be down, it's hard. Because sometimes they're like, what gives you the right, as in what gives you the confidence? What gives you the permission to express yourself in this way? And you're wondering, how is that a problem? I have something to say and I need to say it. So it's not a lot of people. So I've had confrontation with people. I've had people tell me that you're too out there. You're too out there. Can you tone it down a little? I'm like, I'm so sorry, but that is who I am. So I want to start with that point that we are a product of the handlers or the culture or the environment or the emotional experiences that raised us. So from that perspective, that's how we're going to see life. And unfortunately, in Nigeria, majority of people were raised in that place where the man is in control.
Yeah.
If I may step in there, because she said something about in Nigeria.
I think
totally,
it's universal.
aside from it being universal, Nigeria on its own, the culture we have in Nigeria,
Or in Africa.
is
I think it's
in
universal.
Nigeria. Because if you juxtapose it with the culture we have in Ghana, they work basically 4 times a week, but in Nigeria we work 5 times a week. In everything we do in Nigeria, it has to do with some sort of, there's a relationship with patriarchy, basically. And why am I saying this, basically? Let me just give you the definition of the effect we have of patriarchy, which says that patriarchy affects men in, they become sexually aggressive, they have sexual assault, there is substance abuse, there is negative mental health, there is domestic violence, negative parenting techniques, and expectations. And currently, we are practically going through everything I have just stated here in Nigeria. There's domestic violence. Why am I saying this? Our work culture is aggressive. It's so aggressive in such a way that we do not think outside working. We are always working. And what are those things that actually make us think outside that environment? It's the relationship we have with the people around us. But at the end of the day, the men still bring that work culture to the house, which they now use to dominate the women. And if you take it back to the cultural environment, which we are coming from our different spaces of tribes, basically, it's still predominant because the men feel that, oh, they're entitled and they're superior to the women, and they're giving more relevance in respect of how they treat women, basically. So our culture, our environment is already aggressive and patriarchal.
I will let Lami say what she wants to say before I respond.
No, I was going to say
Yes.
that I don't think that patriarchy is unique to Africa or even Nigeria.
Okay.
But I think it transcends all cultures. It might, the degree is just what
Yes,
is
that's
different.
and
You were asking a question that how does patriarchy affect relationships? And I would say patriarchy actually affects the men more than it affects women.
true.
They are not allowed to express
Emotions.
They bottle up the emotions. Financially, the man wants to be the head of the home when he doesn't even have the capacity.
Not all the time.
How do you mean?
Not all the time.
All the time. All the time. Men, despite the fact that they don't have the capacity, they don't want their wives to work so that they won't be seen as weak men. They don't want their wives to take decisions. You might not agree with me, but that's what I think is prevalent.
I'm just listening.
So it does affect men more than it affects women, from my own
So
angle.
I agree with you about it affecting men more. I think that the construct or the way that we have spoken about patriarchy so much has been from the perspective of women, and I think that feminism has had a huge part to play
Exactly.
in, that, in talking about it. But I made a conscious effort when we were going to talk about this topic today to say, you know what, I need to understand how it affects men, because that narrative all the time that when you talk about patriarchy, you know, it's like you're bashing the man. But actually, when you look at it from the perspective of relationships,
They're also
men
victims.
suffer. They're victims as well. And the fact that the way we're raised has a huge part to play in it.
Absolutely.
I was watching a documentary about a lady who was talking about patriarchy, and she talked about 3 generations of her family, of her grandmother, her mother, and herself. And she says, in truth, because her grandmother was born when she was born, that's why she's here today, because knowing her grandmother is very similar to her in personality, and she doesn't want to have children. So if her grandmother had been born in today's time,
She wouldn't have had
wouldn't exist.
Exactly.
Because her own mother won't have existed. So it was a different narrative for her for her grandmother. And then when her mother was being raised, it had reduced and it had relaxed a little bit. So her mother got to work and got to do a lot more things. And then she's living a completely different life. But like we said, this is someone who lives outside of Nigeria. We know that things are changing. Women are getting to do so much more. We're shattering ceilings. There's not enough of us, to be fair. We're a long way away from equity. And it differs in so many parts of the world. I think that to a certain extent, it occurs here differently, because when I stop to think about a lot of our employers, if I think about the thriving sectors we have here, what's it called now? Banking, telecoms, gender doesn't really factor in pay. Pay is flat, the way our structure is. So our problems are different. Abroad, they'll tell you, a man earns more than a woman, there's a disparity. But in our own reality, it's about the relationships. That's where it plays more here.
Exactly.
You hear that tussle. Now you see women pushing back. I make my own money. Like you said, the man is trying to be the head of the home. But now so many men want to ask you, what are you bringing to the table before we do this,
Yes.
But still, you still want to exert authority over you, despite the fact that you're bringing your money to the table. So they need to choose. Do you want to be the head of the home or not?
I was wondering what we were going to say. I was going to add fire to this conversation. Because, there is value in that statement that says, if I'm in the old days, our parents didn't work. Our mothers were at home, everything, father go work, breadwinner, provider, and all of that. So today now, that narrative is changing. I want you to work, but I still want you to be domesticated.
Thank you. We're sharing financial responsibility. We're sharing financial responsibilities, but we're not sharing the household chores.
Because they were not trained in that way.
Then don't share financial responsibilities with me.
Let me take this.
Just be the head.
Just be the head. How
But let me ask you that. Would you be able to cope with that?
How do you mean?
If today your husband was sole provider and said, Lami, don't work.
Never. It's never going to work.
So you also need to pick your cake. And,
No, that's what I'm saying. That so this issue of the head of the family and all that, I think we need to reduce. It's not practical in the modern world anymore. Economic realities.
No,
I think that being the head of the home is actually overrated. And to an extent, it's the two people involved. Where you see a clash of responsibility is when the two people have no idea what they're doing. So based on the training that they've gotten, what do you even mean by being the head of the home? What does it mean to be head of the home? Do they really know what it means to be head of the home? Is it just to show up and say, oh yes, where's my food, this and that? Being the head of the home is like being the rock. It's like being the foundation. It's like being everything, whether it's the priest over the home or, all of this. So it's a whole lot of responsibility, right? Are you ready for that? That's part two. A lot of people just have this impression of what it is, but in actual sense, it's the other way around. And then when their manhood or womanhood is being
or challenged,
then they rise up as either feminists or I'm for the man. What do you mean? I'm the man of the home, this and that. It's for people to realize, first of all, what are we doing? And it's just like in every company, for example, and I have a friend, he will always say, if people ran their homes and their relationships like a business, then more relationships will thrive. Because in that understanding, everybody knows, we're all working, but somebody has to represent the company as the CEO. No, not everybody can be the CEO. But we need someone to represent when situations come up. So the same thing in the family front or in a relationship. When I begin to question my husband's place, then there's already a problem.
There's a problem, yeah.
There's already a problem. And there are a lot of people who have no understanding of what this means. It's just something that has been moved from one generation to the other. So they just come up and say, I'm the head. How?
And even if
let me hold you. Okay. Let me stop you there, Issy. I think where you've hit the nail on the head. And when we get back, we're going to break that down. Okay. Stay with us. We'll be right back. If you've just tuned in, it's our Ladies' Night Out and we're talking about the impact of patriarchy on relationships. Please let's hear what you have to say. Remember, you can join the conversation. Send us an SMS or WhatsApp message to 0818 038 4663. So, back to where we were about to strike a match. So let's strike it. So Norma said, she was talking about the head of the home. And I'm going to ask this question. In defining the head of the home, does it have to do with finances and being the breadwinner? Because I think that it is possible to be the head of the home and not be the highest earner in the home.
It's not possible.
It is virtually impossible.
It is not possible.
It is not possible.
Why?
Because, first, let me start from the Bible, right?
Well,
Adam had his role. Eve had her role, which is what? Give birth. Did Adam share her part of the punishment? No. It was Eve bearing her punishment. So what was Adam's own?
Till the ground. You must till.
You must till the soil. So you must do what you're. In fact, let me speak Nigerian English.
Yes.
You must go to that farm and till that soil.
Yes. The moment a woman is sharing with you,
why?
You have lost your role, then your position.
Okay.
Whether
It's not
possible. The
possible.
piper dictates the tune now.
That's why
You
we still see a situation whereby the man now tells the woman, "Oh, you've made the money. Still bring that money, then we'll share it. Or
And you now be the man.
I will give you your money."
So that's
in
where
the
I think the
process.
problem is.
So that's wrong.
So hang on.
The
Whilst
man
we
should
are lighting
provide.
the fire, I think we should invite our viewers to join us. Our phone line is now open. Please remember when you call, please turn down the volume of your TV and let's keep our submissions brief. You can see the ladies have a lot to say.
But Uti, honestly, in your mind, though,
So
don't
let
say
me-
because you're on
seriously.
TV.
No, so
say
let
the
me tell
truth.
you what I'm trying to say. It is possible, right, that the head of the home is not defined by the financial aspect. You can lead without it being from a financial point of view. It is
How?
the mindset that comes behind
Okay,
it.
you know why? Sorry to.
Let her land. Let her land.
I'm sorry, my body's hot.
Let her land.
Let her.
By nature, by biology, women are not providers.
We're not providers,
Wait.
but we're nurturers.
Wait.
So
Wait. The moment women begin to provide, there will be no peace in that home because it's not natural for us.
no.
And let me tell you something.
it is
Men
you-
become very sensitive the moment their wives are earning
More.
earning more than
But
that.
it depends on the
Men
man,
can
though.
have been
A
trained
lot of
depends
men.
on the man,
A
though.
lot of men.
in that regard.
A lot of men.
Yes,
so
like,
there,
it
has
depends
to,
on
there
the
will be
man.
struggles
Let's
in
not
the home.
generalize, and this is what I'm trying to say.
Okay.
If we generalize, yes, you will find that a lot of men, that's why we're having this conversation,
Absolutely.
have been programmed. But the question for me, Norma touched on a very serious point. How do you, because for me, if you have to tell me that you're the head of the house, you failed already. It is possible for you to assert. Now, there is the place that says that you as a woman who is earning more, have you also positioned yourself in a way where it now becomes all about money? It is possible for a relationship not to center around money. That's all I'm trying to say. So if we're talking
that
about
It's supposed to
a
be.
leadership,
But in
if we're-
practice, is it like that?
no. So it's not about practice now.
Yeah.
It's about, first of all, what we're defining, what we're agreeing is possible. The reality of it is that majority of men, majority of relationships center around money. That's why I feel that we have so many of the problems that we have today. Because we've heaped one problem on top of another that are not supposed to be associated. But of course, we know money is important. In a relationship, the things that bring in pressure are what bring out maybe the negative side of us. But I'm saying that if you just take two people, a man and a woman, in a relationship, maybe with children, and we take money off the table. Imagine if both were equally rich. You have money, I have money.
I think it was.
Okay, just hold on that statement. We have a caller. We have Francis from Delta. Francis, can you hear us? Hi, Francis.
Hello.
Hello, Francis.
Hello.
Are you there? Can you hear us?
Think
Okay. Norma, please go. We'll hopefully get him back.
I mean, okay, a popular figure said something, on Instagram. She said, a relationship where the two people are powerful, they combine forces to become even more powerful.
Powerful, yeah.
Right? So I keep hammering on the fact that it's the mindset that has brought us to where we are today, because a lot of men don't even know what it means to be the head of the home.
Agreed.
It's not about how much you bring. There are men who may bring all the money, but emotionally, you can't rely on them.
Okay.
Physically, you can't rely on
I
them.
think Francis is back. Francis,
Yes.
can you hear us? Hi, Francis, are you there? No, I think we'll
Sorry,
try.
Norma. I was going to say.
Let's have finish.
Hold it. You know, in other aspects, sometimes we hinge on the financial, well, maybe because it's a very, very strong part of relationships,
plays a
right?
huge role.
But it's someone who, there are people who have relationship and you don't even know that the woman is the one providing.
I
but
agree.
because the woman understands that it's not about the money, and the man understands his place
Thank you.
as the head of the home, even though he's not the one bringing in majority of the finances. Everybody understands their place. So the relationship can work. If the two people, that's why they say relationships are not for boys and girls. They're for men
and women.
They're for women. People who understand what are the expectations between one another and they're able to meet up with those expectations. So I don't, so when I see people struggle in the area of, okay, maybe the man was providing and then suddenly he loses his job.
I agree.
Oh, I think we have Francis.
Hello?
Francis, are you there?
Hello.
Thank you for joining us. Let's hear what you have to say.
Okay. Thank you, ma. You see, when God made this world, He made man. He made man, and from man, He made woman. And woman is the last creation of the Creator. And when Adam woke up, he saw a woman, he was happy, and God was jealous. Therefore, a man is the head of a home. He cares his family. No matter how the circumstances, that if maybe a woman has more money than a man, she should be submissive to the husband, so that the home will be well managed. But if maybe the man is not well okay in finance, you must have to assist and make sure that your home is okay. If you are not driving a man, you see that is why women in the Western world have diversity, plenty of diversity. But in Africa, we have little of them.
Thank you, Francis.
Therefore, I'm not trying to inform you that no matter how rich a woman is, a man is the head of a home. But a man should not be lazy to perform his duty.
Thank you very much, Francis. Thank you for sharing your thoughts with us.
Thank you, man. Thank you, man.
What I was going to say when Norma was talking is that is the way it's supposed to be. Finance should not be a big role. Yes. But the problem is men, because of the way they are structured, most men, the moment a woman is in that position, they begin to struggle. Do you understand? They begin to be very, very sensitive, and then you will now find power tussle.
You find that in a man who is insecure.
Yeah.
In most cases.
But
if the man is, he owns his space, basically. So in some ways, you're correct. But there are some things that I would also take. Yes, there are some things I will also take from that, which is that the fact that men, there are secure men and there are men that are insecure. Now the problem actually lies with men who are insecure, that tend to want to, dominate the woman no matter what she thinks or feels. And let's also look at it from also the perspective of how we're also raising our boy child, in the context that they are supposed to come back home, when they see their father come back from work, sits down on the table, raises legs, and the woman comes back from work and still goes back into the kitchen to cook. They look at it like it's normal. So it's based on how we also train the boy child to also reason and the mindset of the boy child. So also look at it from the context of the fact that the men feel after the context of them being or feeling insecure, basically, let's look at also the concept of them also. I think I'm losing my thoughts.
So I just wanted to quickly say something, because when Francis was talking, and Francis really needed to make his point because he kept calling back, the concept of submitting, it plays a huge role in this narrative of patriarchy.
Yes. I didn't just want to react.
So I'm going to hold on to that point. We have Femi from Ibadan. Hi, Femi, can you hear us?
Hello.
Hi, Femi, good evening. Thank you for joining us.
Okay, thank you for the discussion. I think where there is love, a woman will not have problem submitting to the authority of the husband.
I agree.
If things are normal.
Yes.
And the man himself should not behave like a dictator. If you have a problem of submission from your wife, there are other fundamental issues that are there. A woman should or willingly submit in love. But when you have, you brought this, you didn't bring this, this is my money. I've seen couples whereby for years the wife was the one providing for the family, and you won't know
Yes.
where there's love. But in many relationships that I see presently, they, even before marriage, even before the wedding day, there are already contentions, and there are
The finances.
fights, quarrels that are on the surface. Everything looks okay, but beneath they are already undercurrent. So when it comes to the issue of money, it manifests itself such that there will be this rancor of if you call yourself the man, then come and submit and bring the money, bring this. So I think where there's love, that's the summary.
Thank you, Femi.
It doesn't matter who brings. Yeah.
Thank you. I think you've hit the nail
That's
on the
a
head.
valid point.
So that's what
That's
I
a
was trying
valid
to
point.
say. Because I have seen relationships, like Femi just said, where the woman loves the man so much. The man loves the woman.
Absolutely.
Their expectations of each other in the relationship don't center around
The
money.
finances. I agree.
It is at the point when expectations start to shift because things have come in that have impacted. You know, I always tell people, you think you're in love, be angry. Love is the first thing that goes out the door when you are really angry. So the thing is, other things happen that start to chip away at this love. And then one day you find yourself saying, and what are you even doing? How much are you bringing to the table? That's what happens. So we've unfortunately now made it all about money. So when we talk about submission, what we talk about is
money.
It's money.
Really, bring the money.
But at the end of the day, it still
why?
depends on the mindset of the man who is actually interacting with the woman,
But I think-
and the way he actually tells the woman, which is what Femi said, the way he tells the woman to bring the money. Because some men, believe me, some men are very, very brash about it. They tell you, Madam, where is your money? Bring it. No, this is not love. This is order.
If you
it's
really
dominance.
love the woman, would you?
It's
Would
dominance.
you think they would?
Look, sometimes you said something, when the man is angry with the woman, love goes out the window. So basically, now he's looking at the money. Some men can be so self-centered, you'll be shocked how self-centered they can be. So basically, based on this, it is all about the way you actually talk to someone. There's a parable that says that a soft word
Turns away rough.
it softens a hard heart. So even if you had the mindset that you were going to do something very harsh, basically, the moment the man talks to you, say, look, this is what it is. Basically, we need to sort this, we need to sort this. Please, can you just, assist with ABC? That makes sense. Not a situation whereby you tell me, come on, bring it over here and sort it out.
I'll
if I
take
may
a
say, Uche.
comment just before we go in, because this is from Ade. He says, good evening, ladies. Patriarchy affects men than women because men are meant to be the breadwinner of the family. So men go the extra mile to maintain a good and stable family. Ladies, please spend your hobbies money and shine. Women are beautifully made by God without any stress. See why I had to read it. We have one more, and this one says, thanks, Norma, for analyzing who the head of the home is. Can you please break down that point further? And that's Chidi from Magba. I think we've done that. Lami, you were going to say something.
I lost my line of thought. But okay, I remember that when he was saying men go the extra mile.
Yes.
If you look at it, there are more widows than widowers. And it's because of what? It's because of patriarchy.
Do you have that statistic?
It is the truth. Now.
Do you have that
A lot of men die before their wives. I don't need to do it.
A lot of men die before there was
we-
a lot of
of course, we
women
have
die.
another
before-
call.
No, a lot of
Guys,
men. There are a lot
we have
of
another
widows.
call from Bielsa. Steve. Hi, Steve. Are you there? Hi, Steve. Can you hear us?
Good evening.
Good evening. Thanks for joining us.
I am with you. Good evening.
Let's hear what you have to say.
Yes. Good evening. Yes. All the ladies there, I greet all of you. Yes. My point is there is no man. There is no man that will marry and compete with his wife. You see, ladies, when you have the money, yes, every man works to control his family. The man will work out for money to his feet to take care of his family, right?
Steve, can you turn
When
down
you
the volume
have
of your
money,
TV set?
The ladies will talk about who is going to take care of the house.
Hi, Steve. Can you hear me?
Oh, it's like, hello?
Hello, yes. Can you turn down your TV? It's creating an echo.
Yes, it's done. It's done.
Okay. Let's hear what you have to say,
Hello?
please. I think we'll have to have
Yes,
Steve come back.
Even in the Bible, God created woman.
I think we'll have to come back to Steve. Yes, please go ahead.
Right. So, you know, when you think about it, you realize that all of this has been created by the way we think here. And I've seen so many relationships work, and I've also seen so many relationships crumble because of people's perception. And then they bring these things to the table, they bring it into their relationships. You haven't known who I am, you're already demanding that, okay, what am I earning? Am I going to bring it to the table? So guess what? As much as we have insecure men, we also have insecure women. So people who are holding and say, see, I'm going into this relationship, and if anything happens, I'm checking out. Because of the stories, because of the things that they've heard. So they want to safeguard themselves. Some people people have reason to be scared about relationships because you're a product of where you're coming from.
Exactly.
Except you consciously begin to change
Yeah,
that
to think about it
perception
and change.
and see the possibility of having these things. It won't work, no matter how you want to try it. There are women who are
I
blessed
think
to
we
be
have another
resourceful.
caller. Austin from Benin. Hello, Austin. Good evening.
Phone lines are buzzing.
I know, right?
And they're all
Hi, Austin.
men.
Can you hear us?
Hello.
Good evening, Austin. Let's hear
Hello,
what you
good
have to say.
evening. Hello.
Good evening, Austin. Please go ahead.
Hello.
Can you hear us?
Yeah, are you hearing me? I'm calling from Benin.
Thank you. Let's hear what you have to say.
Okay. Where is
I think, Austin, you have to turn down your TV set. It's creating an
Hello?
echo as well.
Hello?
Can you turn the volume down on your TV, please?
Hello?
Not sure he can
Okay,
hear
I
us.
think let's continue.
So there are women who are resourceful.
Yes.
And with team effort, just let them, they have ideas, they have connections, they have people resource, human resource, material resource. And because of your being head, you stifle a blessing.
Yeah.
And then there's women also, or men who are gifted in, providing, so to speak. That a woman is providing or helping? Is she not helpmate?
Yeah.
When the man can't provide, can the woman not help provide?
Of course.
And they do so happily.
Definitely.
Those that
With
would do so
joy.
happily. So
Yes.
you find people struggling. There are men who can provide and they want their women to take care of the home front. It's the two people. For somebody else, they will say, me, I cannot sit down at home and take care of things and I must go out there too. You are your person and you can make your own decisions. But basically, I think that the more we can change our narrative of what patriarchy is doing in relationships.
But
This
is
is the
it
thing with opening the phone lines.
Yeah.
Austin, I think you're back. Hi, Austin. Can you hear us?
Wow.
Hello?
Hi, Austin. Please go ahead.
Are you hearing me?
Yes.
Hello?
Can you hear us?
Are you yes, I'm calling from Benin. Are you hearing me?
Yes, we can. Please go ahead.
Hello?
I think we'll have to
Yes,
go
I'm
ahead.
hearing you, but okay. My contribution goes like this. When they say the man is the head of the home, when they say the man is the head of the home, what it means is that, hello?
Yes, go ahead.
Hello?
Okay, I think we might have to move on. I don't think Austin can really hear us. And, it's
What a lot of people attribute patriarchy to is dominance.
Yeah.
That's what they see.
But is that not what
But that's
it is?
what it is.
But that's
It's what it
simple
is.
truth.
But patriarchy could be something that could be empowering if we don't focus on the fact that it's all about dominance. It's
That's
not all
an
about
interesting
us.
So what
point.
else is
That's
it
an
about?
interesting point of view.
It's
But-
not all about dominance.
What else?
Lami.
It's what we've made it to be.
Because
Don't-
that is
don't
what
beat
that's
me
the
up.
society.
So Lami,
the
I will,
society.
hold on.
Yes.
This is
We
the thing.
can
I knew
change
the
that
time
narrative.
would fly by so quickly. So before you run into it, you have 1 minute to go.
Talk.
No, I was going to ask her a question. If patriarchy is not about dominance, then what is it about?
No, I didn't say it's not about dominance. I said it's
could
not
change.
only
Okay, so what
about
other
dominance.
thing? What other
It can
thing?
be something positive.
It's
People
what she's
taking
trying-
responsibility,
what she's
people
trying-
owning their place, and everybody playing their roles in such a way that we make
Then
progress.
but that's not patriarchy anymore. Then that has to be equality.
Okay.
We are
the
moving
lawyer has
towards
spoken.
equality.
Okay,
Yes.
I agree.
Okay. So we really we have to wrap up. So Issy, I'm going to let you 30 seconds. Your final thoughts.
My final thought is this, that whether we have patriarchy in our society, yes, we do. But can we live with it? I think, like Norma said, we can make lemonade out of lemons. So let's try and live with them and try to survive through this madness.
I
Change the
personally,
mindset.
I don't think patriarchy works for anyone. I think we need to start to consciously, both men and women,
Yes.
find a way to find a better medium.
Yes.
It's our mindsets are changing, but it just needs to be a lot faster
Faster.
for us to be able to come together. But I think we've done justice to the fact that patriarchy affects relationships and affects both men and women. So thank you so much, ladies. It was an awesome. I had an awesome time. So before we go, please ensure you follow us on Instagram at PlusTvAfrica. You can interact with us further, drop a comment, and most importantly, we're planning a huge giveaway just to say thank you for watching and believing in the Ways brand and for following the conversation. So follow at PlusTvAfrica and like, share, comment, and invite your friends and family to watch and follow us. If you missed today's quote, here it is again. It's men who trust they will suffer no consequences for their actions, while women suffer no matter what they do. And that's by Megan McLean Ware. We've had a great conversation and we look forward to seeing you again tomorrow at 8 p.m.